Ham Radio, Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day. That means it's time for the Hump Day Happy Hour, and we got a great stream tonight. We're going to tell you a little fairy tale today, but it ain't really a fairy tale because the Poda King is a real person. All right, so before we do that, let's give a shout out to all my Patreons, because if it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't be able to keep this Poda King Rove going and keeping gas in my vehicle and everything else that these guys help me do. They absolutely rock, and I appreciate them very much. So shout out to all my Patreons, and thanks a lot for helping me out so much as you guys do. Also, we want to give a shout out to the Adventure Club. There's the current standings for the Adventure Club. Shout out to Bruce, who donated off stream once again. Bruce is always donating off stream like that. He bought 10 slices of pizza yesterday morning, so thanks a lot to Bruce for that. I appreciate it very much. All right, so we're going to tell you a little story, and it's rough being the king sometimes because, you know, all your loyal subjects, they get to worrying about things, and they've been talking about the Poda Phantom. Let me go ahead and bring the king's hand out here, Mr. Hayden. What's going on,
What's
Hayden?
up, everybody? How's it going tonight?
It's going pretty good. So, Hayden, I was telling people, you know, since you're the king's hand, you know this, how everybody's worried about the big Poda Phantom. Everybody's like, brace yourself, winter's coming, you know. And they're all worried about what's going to happen in the winter. Is the Poda King going to stop activating because it's cold? No, that ain't going to happen. So I figured what better way to start off fall, which is Thursday, than to give a little celebration and let everybody know that there ain't going to be no Phantom this fall. So what I did is I called upon the Warden of the North, and we're going to go ahead and bring the Warden of the North out. And let's go ahead and get him here. What's going on, James?
Not much. Just looking forward to some excitement this weekend.
You didn't realize you had a title, did you? So James, you know, he keeps the gates to the north secure, watching for all the sad hams that try to come from north of the wall over, you know, and he makes sure that we don't get too many sad hams because, you know, we've stacked them all on 7200 and 7188 and stuff, but we don't want them to spread out, so we got to keep our borders secure. But myself and James, we're going to do a little stop to this Poda Phantom that you guys are worried about, and we're going to do a little bit of rove action on the first day of fall. What do you think, James?
Yeah, I didn't realize it was the first day of fall, but that makes sense to me.
Ah. But did you think the king was summoning you to the kingdom for nothing?
Just remember, I'm the Rove King.
Absolutely, you're the Rove King, man. This guy, he put on a show on the last Support Your Parks weekend. That's for sure.
That was amazing.
Like I don't even know where to start. Like I used to think that I wanted to try to beat the Rove record, but that sounds like a bunch of bullcrap to me now.
I made it pretty hard.
I'm gonna have to find a new country that has like 22 fifers that are all within quarter a mile apart and stuff. So
you might have to go to one of those islands in the Caribbean.
There you go. But yeah, so James is coming to West Virginia tomorrow, and you know we're going to talk a little bit about James's epic journey that he's been on to start with. But for sure tomorrow he's coming to West Virginia, and when I get off work, if I go to work, did I say that out loud? We're going to start a rove, and we're going to go. There we go. We're going to fall into Poda. Ain't that right, Mike? I bet you Mike's going to fall into Poda tomorrow too. Mike likes to do that. POTA thing himself.
Mike loves winter. He's all about winter POTA.
Yeah, Mike loves Michigan POTA so much that
No, he likes winter POTA in Texas. That much I know.
I like winter.
Hey, Tom and I did that. It was minus 32 plus wind chill, that one activation we did earlier this year. So there's no famine in the winter.
So here's the thing. You know, I don't know how hot it gets in Texas, but I can tell you that in February I was in Florida and I happened to be doing a park activation with Mike, and I was talking about how nice it was, and he said, "I'm ready to get back home where it's warm," and I'm like, "Warm." So Mike got used to that Texas weather for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, myself and James are going to do a rove tomorrow. We're going to go somewhere. It's not totally mapped out, but we do have a map right here, and we're going to go somewhere in this. Let me see if I can see my cursor on my screen here, and of course I can't see it on the screen. All right. Anyway, if you see the one that's marked in blue, we're going to be hitting parks in that general area because that's some parks that I haven't done. Of course, James hasn't done because he hasn't been there. Of course, we have to travel a little bit to find. I was surprised we found some this close that I haven't done. But we're going to do a little POTA rove in that area. And, you know, you never know when it comes to us to how that thing might turn out because, you know, James did. How many parks did you do on Support Your Parks weekend?
Well, it was 68 parks, but it was 65 stops.
68 parks and 65 stops. I can guarantee you it's not going to be nothing like that. But, you know.
That was in 48 hours, though.
You put two people that like to POTA, you know, that much together, and it's hard telling what we might end up doing tomorrow evening into tomorrow night or into Friday morning. I know James has to leave sometime Friday afternoon at some point.
Saturday morning.
Oh, he's going to leave Saturday morning.
Yeah.
But I was hoping a second guest was going to show up, and he still might. But I've also called upon the King's keeper of the lost Bitcoin. And Kyle will make an appearance with the POTA King on Friday as well, probably activating the famous Kingdom Park of 1810. So it's going to be a fun weekend. I've got plenty of company coming to the Kingdom to do a little bit of POTA, so it's going to be fun. But James, talk about what you've been doing, dude. You've been on a tear.
Yeah, so we had plans to visit my family, parts of my family, basically every year the past few years, and of course because of the pandemic, we had to change those plans. So we kind of crammed all those into one trip. So we went all the way from north of Toronto, where we live. That's my wife and I and the two puppies. And we went all the way to the California coast. And we're almost all the way back now. And this is the end of week 6, I think. But yeah, I've managed to do 20. When we do Ohio tomorrow, that will be the 28th, 27th, or 28th state of this trip. I've activated at least one park in every state I've been able to touch. I have some interesting ones I missed. I got California. That was unexpected. Well, my wife found a great spot to camp. It happened to be our anniversary weekend on the September long weekend. And so I actually got a really nice sand dunes on the Pacific Ocean activation. It was really good. But I missed Arizona just because the way the route went. I was way far north in California, not anywhere near Arizona. So I've got a couple of states that I'm gonna have to get on my next trip. And the next trip is going to be down south, probably in the winter. I'm hoping actually Mike is available because I'm gonna be going right through his neck of the woods. So I'm hoping to snag me an activation with the other POTA King, so to speak, the POTA Prince of Texas.
Mike is the POTA daddy, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Mike,
POTA Daddy works. POTA Daddy.
Or the
Mike,
POTA father.
Mike is the POTA daddy. You know, he's the daddy of POTA because he has brought so many people in to the sport of POTA. Therefore, he is giving them birth into POTA. He is the POTA
Papa
daddy.
POTA.
Papa POTA, he has definitely earned that title because he's birthed a lot of new POTA youngins for sure.
Well, Papa POTA, when I have an idea of the timing of my next trip, I will be reaching out to you.
Is that kind of like Papa Smurf?
I'm still going to make a meme of that when I get a picture with him.
Sorry, Mike.
I've also talked to Whiskey Delta 5, Julie Oscar Echo. A lot of people know Joe Malone. He owns White Sands in Mexico. I'll be going there, so I actually talked to him briefly. We're going to do something. So that trip will also have hopefully some interesting POTA get-togethers. But that'll be late winter, early spring, sometime. I gotta pay off the gas bill for this one first.
all right.
I'm at 9,000 miles, and I'm not even home yet.
He's at 9,000 miles, and he hasn't even met up with me yet. We're gonna double that, right? Anyway, our other guest is here. He don't even know of his new title that I've given him, but we're gonna go ahead and bring him out.
Hello.
What is up, buddy?
Please copy. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, what's my new title? I don't know if I want to know.
Well, this is sort of the king-oriented video, so I was letting the wonderful POTA Kingdom know that there will be no POTA Phantom this winter because the king has summoned the Warden of the North down to start an activation on first day of fall with him, and the Keeper of the Lost Bitcoin is going to come and talk about the treasury with us in Kilo 1810 or another park somewhere near there.
the POTA Treasury. I like that. Hey, James. Hey, Hayden. What's going on?
How you doing, Kyle?
Kyle actually got me in an activation a few days ago, and I think that's actually the first time we've talked on the radio.
Listen, I'm gonna give you something really fun to do. Anytime Kyle hunts you, you got to try to say his call sign phonetically, but it has to be different every time.
That's there's only so many words that start with A and Z. So one of these days you're going to run out of
that
words.
We can say on the radio,
right?
Because I know what I would use for one of those A's.
So you know what you should do, James, is
apricots.
Is get yourself.
I've used apricots on him.
Yes, but what you should do is have yourself a little notepad with everything that starts with A and everything that starts with Z, and then just scratch them off as you use them. Right?
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I mean, that's a lot of work.
I don't work you off enough that I need a notepad.
Right. Yeah, you got me, James. You got me on. I can't remember which POTA. Was it a 3-fer or was it a soda POTA? Do you remember?
Well, I don't do soda, so it must have been a 2-fer. It was that 2-fer I did in 2-fer I did in South Dakota, maybe.
Okay, might have been. I don't know. I've been on so many POTAs lately that now I'm just trying to get the logs together, and now I'm starting to find. Now I know what James goes through, and you guys go through whenever you rove, and you try and keep your logs straight. Like if you don't do the logs within a couple of hours after your POTA, I have forgotten like things that I need to do to either like correct the log, or was I in 3 parks and I only wrote down 2? Like my note keeping is horrible, and I learned a little lesson today on keeping better notes on where I am and submit my logs like literally hours before or after I do a park instead of like submitting them like a couple of days later, because then I'm like, did I submit those? Then I got to go back and check. And I'm like, oh, but I didn't submit the soda, but I submitted the POTA. It's a whole secretary issue going on here.
Yeah, dude, I will be honest. Ever since the self-uploader, unless I'm on a really big road where I'm trying to hurry, I will literally edit my log and submit it right there before I leave the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, I
Me
use
too.
hammers. Yeah, and I have a new log
Yeah.
for every activation. That's a given. I don't know how that's going to help the secretary issue of keeping track of multiple soda and POTA, because
Well,
the hammers doesn't do soda and POTA. You have to make a copy and then you have to edit the copy to upload it for soda.
I'm sorry, but Kyle's saying copy.
Please copy my copy.
Well, good luck finding a secretary, because I put it out last week on my live stream that I was taking applications, and nobody turned one in. So
Those of us who need a secretary, we could probably pitch together and get one of those rent a secretary types you get online that we just we email a bunch of files and we can teach them how to like do all that stuff for us for like $3 an hour.
What do you do for a living? I'm a POTA secretary.
It could be a new job for somebody.
All these YouTubers, they send me these files and I fixing them for them.
I should go on Fiverr and set up a profile, and I will fix your ADIV file.
That's what you should do. You should make that a total job. $20 an hour. $30 an hour.
$20 an hour? I'm retiring. I'm y'all's new secretary. Let's do this.
That's James's new job.
I've been saying I want a job that I can work from parks at. So I mean, I just found it.
The problem is everybody's gonna be throwing their logs at you. You're gonna get confused with your logs.
Mine are the longest logs. So that's what she said anyway.
I think Pat's signing up for the position.
The thing is, we can only afford it. It's got to be somebody offshore. We can't afford to pay U.S. wages, man. We can't cover that.
Listen,
We'll just funnel everything through Canada.
You want America quality into your logs, man.
No, I prefer Canada quality, but that's a whole nother matter.
Oh, here we go.
I just want quality. How about that?
So we talked a little bit about what James has been doing. Kyle, what have you been doing about the last week?
Well,
since Sunday anyway.
Yeah. Actually, it started on Saturday. I left the house about noon on Saturday and got
by the way, I showed up to Missouri near his house about 2:00 on Saturday. I'm not sure if that timing's coincidence or not.
Yeah, well, I knew you were coming, so I had to get out of Dodge, man. So left Saturday, went down to through Nashville, and then activated a park in. Actually, on my way down, I activated a park in Kentucky, so I got that one off my list. Came across Tennessee, and my first park and soda POTA was Klingman's Dome, which is in the Smoky Mountain National Park. And that's actually a threefer. That is Smoky Mountain National Park, Appalachian Trail, and Mountain to Sea Trail, and a soda. So hiked up that mountain and activated that. And then I think I just did a twofer in Smoky Mountain. So then I came down and came through the Smoky Mountains, and then I'm currently going up through the Blue Ridge Parkway, and there's a bunch of sodas that also are POTAs, like a twofer, like a Natahala National Forest or Pisgah National Forest, and some other trails and whatnot. So it's been the last week, to sum it up, has been at least 2 sodas a day and probably 4 or 5 POTAs a day. Just setting up, getting 15, 20, 30 contacts, going to CW, getting some contacts over there, and then moving on. So today was the first day that I only did a soda and a POTA, and that was Mount Mitchell, which is the highest peak east of the Mississippi. And I kind of took the afternoon off, and now I'm gonna go up to New River Gorge National Park tomorrow and activate that, and then Friday going over to James's area, and helping or activating over there, and then coming over to Indiana, activating something in Indiana, and then going back to Missouri.
That is awesome. That is awesome for sure.
Well,
Have you
done
really...
Illinois yet?
I have done. Yeah, I've done many in Illinois. Yeah.
Okay. There's where I went. I had 2 parks, one Indiana, one Illinois, and they were each 15 minutes from my camping spot, but 30 minutes apart, 50 minutes each direction. Yeah. That's what I did last night, was Indiana and Illinois.
Yeah, nice.
Really quick shout out to Kent, Kilo 9er Alpha Echo Echo, for the 5 slices of pizza. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm sure you'll get a 5-9 later from me this evening. Very, very active hunter. Kent is one of the hunters who has already turned in his log for the 22 HRAG 22 challenge on the hunter side, and I haven't checked the logs yet, but I think I have a winner on the activator side as of today. So might have one of those in the books too. James, you've probably well, Kyle, with what you've been doing too, you guys were probably both close to the 22 challenge on activating.
Yeah. So tell me the rules again on that.
So basically, the rules are 22 park activations, and I actually said I would count sodas as a park activation in the month of September for the activators, and for the hunters, it's from the 8th of September.
Okay.
But I would say you're probably pretty close to the numbers you were just saying.
I'm probably pretty, yeah. And I've been doing POTAs all the month of September, kind of to get ready to get my CW skills back up and going. So yeah, I'll have to count them and see how many POTAs I've gotten in the month. It's just in the month of September.
Yes.
Okay. I'll count them and see how much.
September is Suicide Awareness Month, so that's why I did pick this month. But yeah, that'll be awesome. Even though I'm hoping Kyle doesn't win since he already has a coin, but
no, my coin would go to somebody else if I happen to win, but I won't win.
You still would get the certificate. Well, if you will allow the funds to come out of the POTA King treasury anyway.
Yeah. So I've got 10 just in the month of September, just on my own without this rove. So I might be there.
I guarantee you're there then, because you've been hitting it pretty hard.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this upcoming weekend, because I have met Kyle many a times, but I've never got to. Well, did you come out to my campground that night, Kyle?
No. I went to go get more 22 pearls.
I couldn't remember. So I've never actually POTA'd with Kyle. I didn't actually POTA with them guys. I was actually wrapping up, getting ready to go to the bar myself, and I hear a car door, and I think it's Pat, and here he comes walking, and it was. Then I heard another car door, and then they just keep walking. And I was like, holy crap, I'm being invaded. Oh, good stuff, man. But I'm definitely excited. You missed what me and James was talking about. So Thursday, we're doing the Rove, and actually, James will probably be with me on Friday when I meet up with you as well, if he don't have plans.
Nice, so. Yeah, that'd be awesome. All 3 of us go out and do some parks. Yeah. That'd be great.
I might even bring Tom's key out with me, and if I write it down ahead of time, and then I follow the code, send it while I'm watching the paper, I can probably do a QSO with you.
Nice.
I can
park to park.
I can do a QSO with him, because it's very simple. I just hear him call the CQ, and I send my call sign, and I know what my call sign sounds when he comes back, And as long as he sends that back, I'm good because I'll send a signal report and I don't care what he says because I don't understand it anyway.
That's all you need. All you need is 5 NN, and that's it, right?
That's right, man.
Yep.
I think I've got 14 now, which are all park to parks. I don't know if they're counted as park to parks because I can't never make anybody understand. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm laughing about Terry's comment. Will you highlight Terry's comment there, Hayden? Golf Quebec.
Oh, where is it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I already did that one.
Oh, did you highlight? Okay,
Yeah. You didn't see it. I'm sorry.
No problem. You kind of look like a revenuer, James. You might want to be careful.
I'll have to say, since I've been doing some POTA CW, it is amazing. I mean, you guys don't have this problem because you guys are in everyone's ham alert, and you just call QRZ on 14250 and they come back to you, right? Or not even QRZ, it's the frequency in use, and you guys got pileups on top of you, right? So you guys don't have this issue, but some of us that don't have, we're not in a lot of people's ham log. Single sideband can be a little tough if you've got a compromised antenna and you're down in a gully or whatnot. It can be tough, right?
Listen,
and there are many times that CW has saved my butt on getting 10 contacts in a reasonable amount of time, to get that signal out, because I could be sitting there for hours calling CQ on single sideband, but I call CQ on CW, and it's like it's a magnet, right? You just pull in those signals, even if it's the weakest signal. As long as you can hear those dits and dies, you can pull that signal out and hopefully put that guy or get that gal in the books. So CW has saved my butt a couple of times, even this week. I was trying to get out of a park to go to another park, and I had 6 or 7 contacts. I switched over to CW, and sure enough, like the floodgates opened.
He's making me feel really bad now because he don't know this, but I actually tried him like 6 times the other day on CW and couldn't get through his pileup.
Oh, really? You should have messaged me and said I'm trying to get through, and I would have stopped.
Well,
that doesn't work. I message James all the time. Park to park, damn it, he ignores me.
No, I would have messaged me.
It depends on how big the pileup, because Toby will tell you she would differ, because Toby will blow me up like that. A lot of people blow me up like that and try to get through. But
I will have to say, Toby is it's like I tune to her frequency, and I must be in her ham alert, because as soon as I tune up, she is right there. She's like one of the first, probably 3 or 4 in my log, and it's great. She's a great chaser.
Toby don't even have ham alerts. She has a wire that runs from her computer into her ear, and like literally, she can get there so fast. It's unreal.
I think I have at least 100 activations where she is the first or the second person in my log.
Yeah.
And usually if she's not the first, it's because I went and hunted somebody first.
Well, it's pretty competitive for me because I wasn't really aware of this, but I was told this morning that a lot of my really big hunters sort of play a game that they want to be the one who gets me when I say, "Is this frequency in use?"
Been there, done that 4 or 5 times.
You did it back in the early days, even too. It mattered. Like James did it way back. James actually was my contact, and you told me you never got that card, even though I sent it. So I'm going to hand deliver you. There's no way that you're going to say you did. I'm going to hand deliver you one more card for the 1,000th contact at my first park for my kilo.
Was that at 1810?
That was 1810. The world famous
your
park.
Your very first kilo. Yeah, I'm really bummed. I had pneumonia really bad when you were going for your 10K. I could not get down to the radio.
Yeah, but James got my very first kilo contact. I didn't even know James then.
No,
Matter of fact,
I think that was actually the very first time I worked you ever.
I think you had been on my stream a couple of times, and we just randomly started talking about it. And you're like, I think I
Well,
worked you for a kilo one time.
I know I never been. Yeah, exactly. But I think that kilo contact might have been the first time I ever QSO'd with you.
So,
And I had only been doing Poder for like, I don't know, a month or two then. So like, you were my first big, like, to be somebody's kilo when I just started doing Poder. Like, that was the first kind of memorable milestone for me. Besides my first activation.
right.
Well,
You're
I was going to say it's going to be interesting I hope to get the pileup, hope to capture and video the essence of the pileup on a James activation. That is the goal of Friday. Like I'll activate and get my X amount of contacts in, but I really want to capture what the hell goes on in behind that radio, whatever you call CQ.
What time do you got to be back at your room? Can you do a late shift?
Yeah, I can do a late shift. Yeah, I haven't gotten a hotel in your hometown yet, so.
Oh.
Yeah, we can do a late shift.
Yeah, well then you'll definitely be able to capture it because the late shift it's. Somebody told me the other day, said, "Dude, I was listening to your pile up on my radio. Said I don't know what it sounds like on your end, but it just sounded like on mine." I said, "Yeah, that's what it sounds like." He's like, "You got good hearing." I was like, "I'm deaf in one ear and can't hardly hear out the other." I was like, "But I pick out tones on the radio."
Whenever the pileup lasts for 20 to 30 seconds, I mean, that is DX CQ worldwide. So, somebody sitting in the Cayman Islands or
some super rare grid somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, something like that. Whenever Croatia gets on, or Cayman Islands, or the Canary Islands, or somewhere in the Caribbean, or TI, those are the types of pileups you hear. And James is generating those pileups on a POTA.
Every single day.
It's just unbelievable.
Every day.
It's crazy. So there's times that like they just keep going and going and going, and I just start laughing. I remembered like 10 calls, and it goes for so long. I start laughing because I can remember like 2 of them at this point now.
I love whenever I'm listening to you, James, and you like I can hear parts of calls, right? But you are hearing something else. You're hearing the tone of the voice, you're recognizing the voice, and you're hearing partial calls. Then what you do, which is amazing, is you'll go on a 90-second rant on like just memorizing calls and pulling that out. It's a rant. I call it a rant. I mean, like just a boom call, boom call, boom call, boom call. And you won't even call QRZ. You'll just hear 7 calls or 8 calls and stack them in your head, and then get those people out of your way, and then call QRZ again, and then take another 8 calls. It's amazing.
And it works really well, except every couple of months you get a whole new batch of hunters that come through. And then they add to the mix, and it takes me a minute for those. And it also, you'll get the one guy all right, I've got seven calls, and I get through 2 of them, and then the guy's like, "What kind of antenna are you running?" I'm running an end-fed half wave, and I'm like,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's hopefully I can capture that in a video and show what people don't understand. I mean, they probably hear some of the pileup, on their side, but they're not hearing what you hear.
It is funny, and people, because I am, but listen, my radio is cranked up. Like, I'm surprised I've never been run out of a park because I run my radio loud. I do, and but I do it because I want to hear every last little tone that I can hear, because there's a lot of hunters. It's funny because James was talking about somebody was talking about trying to work James, And he said, well, if you wasn't 5'9", I didn't hear you because everybody was 5'9". But I can have like 9 or 10 5'9s, plus 20 plus calling, and I'll hear a certain tone that's like a 4-4, and I'll throw their call sign out because they're weak and they might disappear on me. But I know them because I know that tone.
Right.
I hear Mike that way all the time. Like I hear a really weak station, and if I hear an 8 or an X-ray or the kilo at the beginning of his call, I'll know it's 1 watt Mike. Right?
Yeah, well, see, I know Mike's tone so good. Matter of fact, last night he was hunting one of the big pileups, and I heard two stations. Both of them said QRP, and I was like, all right, I got 2 QRPs. I was like, Kilo Echo 8 Papa Tango X-ray. Gave him a signal report, and then I went Kilo 2 Yankee India Yankee. Neither one of them said their call sign, but I went back to back and told their call sign, and I just know their tones. But those two are really similar. I knew it was both of them, but if it would have just been one of them, sometimes I have to think which one it is because they're similar.
It was weird for me being out west because I'm not used to most of the hunters I got out west. I mean, I got a lot of you guys on 20, but it was a lot of new to me hunters, and they've never heard me activate, and very few of them have worked me, so they didn't know me the same way. So it was actually almost like being a new activator again because I didn't have that rhythm and I didn't recognize the people.
I bet you got Neil from Arizona a lot, didn't you?
What's his call?
See, he don't hunt me much because I don't do 20 very much. I'm gonna say Kilo 7 Sierra Echo Charlie or something like that.
Sounds familiar.
I know I know him when he calls because I know his voice. But he hunted me quite a bit when I was in Florida on 20. That's when the POTA fan people's gonna feel like there's a famine is when I go to Florida again next year and I'm back on 20 meters and all the 40-meter people go nuts.
Yeah, him, Curtis. Yeah, I got him a few times.
Yes, Kilo 7 Sierra Echo November. Very, very good, Curtis. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Really, really nice guy.
Yeah, when you going to Florida?
February.
Oh man, that's gonna be too early for my follow-up trip down to Texas. I'm going through Florida because I got to get my next trip. I got to get the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and then I got to go over to get Arizona. And those are like the states I'm missing. And then I only have I have to get Maine, and I have to get Alaska and Hawaii.
You said Florida, Alabama. You said all these real south, and then you said I gotta go get Arizona, and
Yep, because I got to go way over there because I missed Arizona. I got to go way over there. But then I'll have I might have Maine by then. I don't know. But yeah, then it's just gonna be down to Hawaii and Alaska, and I'll have done DC. So it'll be a matter of with the DC wild card. It'll be a matter of whether I get Alaska or Hawaii first for the unofficial activate all states.
If I can ever work out the logistics, I've got Hawaii coming. So
that's where park number 1 is in Maine, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Acadia National Park. Mm-hmm. It's alphabetically first, so it was Kilo 0001.
And you're talking about activating, not chasing, right?
Yeah, activating all states. Yep. Right. Yeah, I'm at 30. Was it 38 as of last night?
Wow, that's awesome.
So nice. Ohio will be 39. Yeah.
Has anyone done that yet?
Yeah, we've actually given out a certificate for activate all states. Now I can't remember. He has DC. I can't remember if he got Hawaii or got Alaska. He's missing one of them. I don't remember which one it is, but it's not a natural activate all, but it counts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kurt,
there was activators in Hawaii the whole time I was out west, and I could not work them at all. I was out west. They were in Hawaii, and I still couldn't get them. So I still haven't worked Hawaii yet, Hawaii Park.
I got Hawaii from a on single sideband a couple of nights ago. I was in a hotel, got on the remote, and Joe Brett, K5YVY, told me, hey, Hawaii's on. And that was the only state that I needed to. I mean, I had DC as the wild card, and I had Alaska, so I had my worked all states, but I wanted to fill in the whole graph, And
That's
just on a
exactly where
whim,
I'm at.
yeah, and just on a whim, I turned on the radio, turned on the remote, and there he was. And I sent my call sign like 3 or 4 times. He couldn't hear me. I'm like, this is a lost cause. This is no good. So I waited a couple of more minutes, and I went to the bathroom to do something, and I came back, and the laptop was on the bed, and he was like a 5'9" in Missouri from Hawaii on single sideband. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try one more time. And I launched my call out there, and he came back to me. I was just like, oh my gosh. So he confirmed it on, today is Wednesday. He confirmed it on Monday. So
Nice.
It's
Yeah,
fun-
so I'm still hunting it. I might have to hunt a Hawaii park when I'm actually there activating it. Like,
Well,
kind of.
here's my plan. When I go to activate Hawaii, if I don't have it by then, I will pay a local ham to come sit and activate with me and park him if I got to. I'm getting it out of the way.
yeah, if you're going to go all that way, you better get it.
Mike said he needs to hunt Alaska to get all 50, and that kind of bums me about Alaska, because I have Alaska in my log that's hunted me like, I don't know, 19 or 20 times. They'll hunt me when I'm in parks, but every single time they're activating, I don't hear crap.
So,
and
you want me to run some? I got some salt and lemon juice for that, James.
Oh God, here we go.
Last September, when I moved back to Canada, my second activation with V3THR, we got an Alaska park. And the kicker of it was, I was throwing my call sign in to his pile up over and over and over again. And of course, then I was N600D/VE3. And I found out a lot of people probably just ignored me. But, oh, shut up, Joe. But then Tom gets on with his call sign, V3THR. The guy, the Alaska activator, comes right back to him. And then he says, stand by, I have a second operator. So I got it riding on Tom's coattails. But, yeah, I got Alaska. Like, I thought I was never going to get Alaska.
Listen, Joseph just said that, we after my streams, we do a Patreon after chat, and Joseph is one of my Patreons. He's always in there. And if it's Hawaii or Alaska and they come on, he makes sure to hunt them in front of everybody because he can get them so easy.
Yep. Well, we could do like Vance and Tom and I actually did using Vance's setup, that N3 VEM POTA Vance. We actually went through his computer so that Tom and I are too close to get each other. And we actually went through Vance's computer out his radio as a relay just for giggles. So Joe, maybe Joe can hook us up as kind of a pseudo remote for Hawaii.
Oh Lord. I tell you that
there's all kinds of fun we can have.
I swear, I think everybody that activates Alaska and Hawaii use like a tenth of. I think it's all Mike. He uses different call signs, and he goes out to these states and uses a different call sign.
1/10 of a watt. Yep.
Yeah. He's hunted me on 100 watts before, and then he'll send me a text. He's like, I gotta go shower. I'm dirty.
Here's what I want to do. I want to get semi-famous enough, at least in the POTA world, that when my wife and I go to Hawaii finally, I can get like Cushcraft or somebody to drop ship a like 3-band beam over there, and I'll just donate it to one of the local clubs when I leave. But like, if they could just drop ship a beam, I can find some park that will let me set it up, and I'll just aim it in the general direction of North America for like a week solid with 100 watts.
Well, when I go, I'm going to be there for a week, and it's not a vacation. It is strictly I'm going there to activate POTA. At least one of the days is probably going to be a 24-hour straight activation. So I'm going to activate
or
POTA.
at least do FT8. At the right time of day for those of us over here, so we can get. I'd like it to be sideband, but I would take FT8 if I had to, or FT4.
You gotta like.
No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to Hawaii for a week straight, and I'm only doing SSTV. I will force you guys to make these SSTV contacts with me.
No, you
We'll
should
tell
do
you what.
even worse. Like you should do like Hellscriber or something like Olivia. That's what you should do is Olivia.
Oh yeah.
in Hawaii.
Pat brought up Hellscriber in one of my after chats one night, and we was trying to figure it out. And
That was last week. Field hell.
Yeah, field hell. Yeah, because we do. My after chats get stupid sometimes. We do stupid things. Matter of fact, one night we did SSTV on 7200 for like 2 hours, and
you're in my ham alert, and I saw that on my phone. I'm just like, what is James doing on SSTV? So then I tuned in. I'm just like, I gotta see what type of memes that guy is sending.
We're swapping memes.
well, I mean, I
had
every night I've been doing SSTV to end my activations every night. So I'm trying to build up enough people to where I can go out. I want to do a video of a whole activation. Of course, it's going to have to be edited to death because it takes forever.
Yep. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that was after we figured out SSTV is kind of like a voice mode, so we could technically do it anywhere in the voice portion of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I was in Canada, I can do anything I want anywhere on the band. We don't have these mode restrictions up there, or the mode. It's not restrictions, but the mode
suggestions.
Yes.
Well, I mean, technically, I can do SSTV or CW anywhere.
Right. Have you seen?
There you go.
Have you seen the Adam K6ARK video where he's calling CQ on SSB and somebody replies to him in CW?
No.
Tom did a dual mode a couple weeks ago with somebody, SSB and CW.
Yeah.
He's like, he was in the park. He was at home, but they were in the park, and he was like, how do we log this? Is it a CW contact or is it SSB? So now I'm gonna have to talk to the rest of the POTA devs and ask them, how about a multi-mode contact?
I think you log it as SSB because you're the one that's calling CQ. However, you're calling CQ is the mode that you log it in. I think.
Yeah, the station and the park's primary mode. Yeah, that would make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, James, you should either stream that or video that your 24-hour activation in Hawaii at 3:00 in the morning. You're dozing off. FTH just rolling in the background. We could be like Hayden whenever he did his 24-hour stream, his contest stream.
I'm kind of used to it. I think over the 48 hours of Support Your Park weekend, I think I slept an hour and 20 minutes total both nights. So
you're in prime contest.
I drove for 20. Yeah, I drove for 20 plus hours, and I was on the radio for 11 plus hours out of that 48. So
yeah, it
was practically contest mode.
Yeah, that is CQ Worldwide or WPX mode. That's beast mode right there. POTA beast mode.
And the bad thing was I stayed up doing that knowing that I didn't have a shot in winning anything. I just love POTA because I was in West Virginia. All I could do was 1-fers. I done knew he was getting a Rove, and I pretty much knew Pat was going to get the QSOs because he's doing 5-fers and 4-fers. I mean, I can't compete with that.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting 5 contacts to my 1. Cool. I don't care if I stayed up extra hours than you. You can't catch up from that.
You know, they should maybe normalize that somehow. You know,
Nope.
I
Nope.
you know, I,
The
I,
decision's been made. If it's okay for a normal POTA day, then it goes for the plaque weekend too.
no. I
No
mean,
special rules.
have another category that is there a category of number of just single parks? Like it doesn't matter if it's a 5 or you called CQ at one position, you know, for 10 contacts and it counts as one, and then you move to another park. Is
So
there
a straight rove with no multipliers.
right.
Well, no, yeah. So that is a straight rove. So the fact that I had 65 stops, it happened to be 68 entities because trail and biosphere, but it was 65 actual parks I was at.
Okay,
That is how the roves are calculated.
Okay, so all right, so that's the rove is calculated by how many times you stop and call CQ, and that's 1 point.
The transitions. Yep. Well, the entities. Yeah. So every park I actually went to, and they had to be, because I was driving, they had to be at least 6 kilometers apart.
Yeah.
So a couple of them, I actually had to drive to a park that was farther away to come back to one. So because 2 of them were within 6 kilometers of each other, so I had to put a different one in the middle, right? And do all these triangles. Like if you look at my drive path in Google Maps, you'd be like, that's not the efficient way to drive. But when I did it on purpose.
It's just the way it's set up. I mean, I'll be honest, before I found out that my grandson was having a birthday party on that weekend, my plan was to go to North Carolina and work 4 and 3-fers. I would I'll go ahead and say I would have took the title. I know I would have took the title because I stayed up more hours, but you know, it didn't work out for me, so I knew I was screwed. I knew that week, and I was like, well, guys, I'm not going for nothing. Thanks very much, David, for the 2 slices of pizza. And PP, man, you the only crown you can have is the PP champion.
Yeah, by the way, I will not repeat that rove. I've done it once.
Wait a minute.
A different one.
What if I want you to drive me to do that same rove? Plus 1.
Nope.
I said nope. Man.
Nope. I did the big old rove once. I don't need to do another one. I could do a 70 something entity without going to any of the same parks and still staying in Southern Ontario.
Dude, I don't blame you. That was a crazy amount of work. And now I will say that you were very smart about the way you did things. Your support team was amazing. I was behind the scenes on knowing how that worked, and your support team was awesome. That's how you do a POTA rove right there.
Oh yeah. I spent weeks, hours and hours for weeks ahead of time, figuring out which parks, checking open times and closed times, and a couple of them I looked specific rules, but just to make sure I wasn't going to be getting in trouble or doing something that wasn't cool. But yeah, to have, especially Larry and Toby, who, sometimes my parks were 10 minutes apart. They sat on the frequency in Ragchewed so that I didn't have to fight for a frequency, because if I had to spend 20, 30 minutes to find an open frequency, even 10 times that weekend, I wouldn't have got those numbers. I would have lost parks. So my primary goal was 48 parks in 48 hours. And I had a list of optional parks. Yeah.
Mike said he did 5,500 miles on his trip, and he needs a rest too. Mike did a similar trip to what you've been on here recently. He's been out west, same time as you actually.
Yep, 9,000 and counting, bud. 9,000 and counting.
Jeez.
Let me put it this way. I drove to Louisiana to see my brother, who was on leave from Germany. I got new tires in Louisiana, and I got an oil change. I need another oil change already.
Wow.
So,
The tires are
So-
fine, but I need another oil change.
so Mike, you probably could have took that 5,500, did 9,002 if you'd run some QRO. Just saying. He's gonna leave the stream now. He's gonna be mad at me.
Yeah.
He said
No,
he worked you on one park to park.
Yeah, just a few days ago, I got him. But no, we're talking about these big old huge robes, and people need to understand we're a little crazy. The four of us here, well, at least three of us. I don't know about Hayden yet, but at least three of us are a little crazy. We do weird things because we're super nerds, and like I don't want anybody to think that you have to do 50 parks in 2 days to be somebody in Poda, right? Like, go do one park, go get 50 contacts in the park. You don't have to do 12 or 13 like we were doing, right? Like, just go out to parks. This actually came up on Twitter yesterday. I hadn't checked my RFing around Twitter in like 2 weeks, and somebody had actually asked what was the most number of parks in 24 hours, and 700 plus now. Is that for you or me, for A-Trag?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, you know how hard it is for me to keep up. You're the one that produces my stats for me. But
Yeah.
I would say,
James has got stats that I won't even touch. And like, I've been gone, and Tom B3THR, who's my normal POTA partner in Canada, he's gone and like he's passed me. He's got like 3,200 more QSOs than I do now, and he got started activating like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months after I did. He's now past me, and it's like that. I just like see people do POTA, like, Well, David. If I ever make it to Dominican, we're gonna go for a couple of donkey rides. That's all I can say. I'll make you pay for Montana and North Dakota. We're gonna go do some interesting Dominican parks if I ever make it down there. I would love to go to Dominican for a month and activate all the parks in Dominican. That would just be, it'd be awesome. But I need to win the lottery. My current job won't allow me to do that. So if somebody wants to hand me a, some
so it's funny
personal wealth or.
It's funny you mentioned Tom, because I'm going to go ahead and throw this up there. I've got this set on the on phone contacts for 2022, and of course you see some crazy king guy on top. But who's that sitting in second place there, James?
For total phone contacts?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Where am I for this year?
Man, you gonna make me scroll down that far? Shoo.
Hey, I do stats for you all the time.
I don't even
I can't
know.
be that far down.
That's it. Oh, you're not too far. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Okay. Yeah, he passed me.
That's just on your trip right now, right, James?
No. This is all of 2022. No. So I had. Yeah. No, my trip is all out west, especially. They were all 20, 25 contacts. Montana was the first time I did a 3-digit contact park. I did 180 something in Montana just because I arranged so that I could go to a park in the evening. Good bandwidth, good propagation, and that was that really crappy week we were having. And then that day was like the best propagation we'd had for like a week and a half, and it worked out that so many people needed Montana. I think there was at least 8 or 10 people besides David Delta Lima that told me that they were all happy because they needed Montana. There were several that messaged me and said, "Hey, thanks for North Dakota or South Dakota," because they needed those. And that's, I tried to, I tried to help the people I knew needed certain states, right? So, and a couple of them, like David in Montana, was it Montana? Montana, North Dakota, I don't remember which one, but it was, we had to put some effort into making that happen. It was the conditions weren't great, and but we got it done, and it was a true QSO. It wasn't we didn't make it up. We switched call signs and signals.
Mike wants to know what park in Montana, and then thanks to the moderators for getting rid of the spammers. But I love Whiskey One. Robert can't POTUS comment there. He's never alone.
Which park in Montana I did? That is a good question. I'm trying to remember the name of it. See, now I'm going to have to look it up, whoever asked that question. I'm not watching the chat, by the way.
That would be PP Man. That would PP Man.
Oh, PP Man, okay. Yeah, I will definitely.
So once he looks that up, we are going to start wrapping up the stream. But Patreons, I hope you guys know by now where the after chat is. James and Kyle, I will give you guys access. We do an after chat, and it is on Discord in the Happy Hour After Dark video room, and I'll give you guys access when I pop off here if you guys want to join us.
Okay. Kyle, thank you, Robbie.
Kyle, we'll start with you. We already know what you got coming up, but you got anything coming up besides hanging out with me this weekend?
Actually, I just booked my hotel room, so in your hometown, James. So it's official.
What hotel did you book?
Best Western.
Best Western. Okay, I know exactly where you're at.
Yep. So
I'm getting ready to know too, because I doubt there's two of them in town.
Actually, there is two hotels in town, and then there's the lodge in the park. So, I
had a free night that I had to redeem, so I redeemed it that night because it was weekends are always more expensive than on the week. But anyway, I have shot. I want to say that I'm up to. I mean, granted, I don't have. Well, I've shot 5.5 hours of video this last 5 days, and I'll probably shoot another 3 or 4 hours coming up. So I'm going to have a ton of content to put out on the channel. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, that's all I got. I just can't wait to get back to start editing. It's going to be great. Can't wait.
Kyle is not only hiring a secretary, he's hiring a video editor as well. Hayden, if you don't care, drop Kyle's link in the chat there. James, other than hanging out with my crazy butt, what do you got coming up?
Oh well, I mean, after I hang out with you, I'm head back across the border. I've been gone for at that point it'll be almost 7 weeks. So I've got I have no idea what the chaos of the house is going to be, but I've got a lot of stuff to do before the snow flies in a couple months, and but I'll be hopefully Tom and I'll be back to our normal 200-300 QSO POD activations a couple times a week. He's been pumping some kilos while I've been gone.
I want to prepare you. You better have your energy drinks now. Tom has been accustomed to staying out late with me now, and hunting me in my late park. So you better be ready for some late shift activation for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean Tom and I used to stay out till 1-2 o'clock in the morning working EUDX all the time. So
yeah, he'll be in a park and he'll park me on my last park. He'll hit the 40, 60, 80 park with me every night, and sometimes that could be 12, 1 o'clock. Like tonight, it will be.
I need some late shifts, so this can be good.
All right, so Hayden, what you got coming up?
Oh, I'm still learning carburetor theory. Get the boat up and running, and then I think I've got everything squared away. We're going to do a test drive either tomorrow or Friday, and then I'll be shooting some videos, putting antennas on it, and see which one's the best one for Maritime Mobile.
All right, really quick, Terry, Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. If you guys hear him on the air this weekend, make sure and give him a spot because he's going to try to go to Lost River, and there's no signal there. So help him out this weekend. I'm going to be filming a really cool video when James goes back to Canada. I'm going to be filming him getting accosted at the border when I call them and tell them the stuff that I put in his vehicle. Then, uh,
Jeez.
uh,
It's one
and
of those meetups.
I'm going to be like, that guy left West Virginia, y'all.
He left West Virginia and had a banjo.
There's some hooch in that gas tank.
He's got a West Virginia banjo in that thing.
He came to West Virginia and he bought a banjo.
He's trying to get back into Canada and go crazy.
Don't make trouble for me. I know where your stats live.
Yeah, I guess I can't mess with you too much. You do kind of have access to my stats a little bit.
I would never do it. It wouldn't matter what you did to me. I would never do it.
It's funny because Digital Rancher, who's in the chat, we got down to Huntsville and he tells me, he's like, "Hey, take your phone and scan this." I was like, "Dude, I really don't care if you're trying to scam money on my bank account. You're not taking my POTA stats, are you?"
Go for the bank account. 'Cause the only bank account you're going to get access to don't have money in it because it's all my wife's. So go for it.
But no, I do have a few videos coming out. Matter of fact, I think I'll drop Abraham Lincoln's home place into Patreon probably tomorrow, so it'll come out Monday Night Ham Radio, and I'm sure I'm going to have some cool videos from this weekend activating with James and Kyle. That's going to be a lot of fun. Other than that, I'll be doing the POTA thing, campfire on Sunday night, and back streaming next Wednesday.
You guys, Kyle and James, you guys need to give me your outtakes and your cuts that you don't use, and I'll put them together for a video and make it my first video on my channel that doesn't exist yet.
We can do that.
I haven't filmed anything this whole trip.
Well, be prepared. Whenever we start to call CQ, there's going to be a camera in your face.
I'm fine with that.
So what we'll do is we'll make you look good on camera, and then I'll give you all the screw ups, and then you can put it on your channel.
Hey, that's fine for me.
Listen,
my Twitter byline is shenanigans, so
Yeah, if anybody thinks that a real activation looks like what you see on YouTube, you're wrong.
No, that is heavily edited.
A funny story: when I was the activation I did where I got the first kilo with the two boys and the dad, I edited a part out where I actually grabbed my radio and looked up like this right here because my girlfriend had walked by and caught the coax and about jerked her radio, and I gave her the go to hell look, I had to make sure and edit that part out.
Hey, it's all right. When one of the winter activations Tom and I were doing, we were in an ice fishing hut, and where my chair was sitting, the ice broke through. It was 2 layers with a water bubble, and the first layer broke through. So I face planted into the laptop and almost shoved the radio off the back of the TV of the table into and he was like reaching over for me, and I had this this half a foot size hole in the ice to dodge for the rest of the activation. So it's like, all kinds of things can happen.
I do wish I had it on film where the deer caught my coax at night. I would do anything to have that on film. That would be a classic video. That would not get edited out for sure. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Patreons, you know where the after chat is, and other than that, we'll catch y'all on the air. Thanks a lot, guys. Make sure and look for myself and James tomorrow night, myself and Kyle, and probably James on Friday. So we'll be out there. 73, guys.
73.
73.